a world where every plate holds more than just a meal, a story unfolds. Welcome to What's on My Plate? Stop and think about global goals, a journey into the heart of our sustenance, our choices, and the world we create with every bite. Food is more than nourishment. It's a tapestry woven with flavors, cultures, and experiences. But have you ever stopped to ponder the tales that lie beneath each dish? Join us as we embark on a quest to uncover the stories behind the food we eat. From farm to fork, we will explore how our choices ripple through the interconnected web of health, environment, and society.
How many items on your plate contain processed sugar?
Two, I guess, because the sambal looks sweet and also the satay with the sauce. Butter, none because I order with non-sugar.
Yeah, I think 2 plus.
Okay.
Then 2, I guess.
1, maybe.
Please, more than at least 1 high.
Roller.
I mean, not with the sugar, okay, more than 2.
More than 2, okay. More than 2.
How many items of plastic packaging were the ingredients of your meal wrapped in? Were the ingredients wrapped in any kind of plastic? You can count how many individual pieces of plastic were involved. More than 2, which is drinks with the ice. Maybe the daging here. Nasi limpit, yeah. Nasi limpit, you put in a plastic when you buy groceries, right? Yeah. So, and the onion.
I think more than 2, yeah.
Zero. More than 2.
More than 2.
How much food was thrown away from your plate?
Oh, I will finish it and then I will throw away.
Finish.
Nothing was thrown away.
Nothing, because I tend to take away the food and eat at home. So I don't like to waste the food lah.
Finish your food. Yes. So nothing.
1 to 2 spoonful because I ain't going to eat the bawang.
How many items on your plate come from your own pantry?
I think all the items, yeah.
1.
Number 1.
That's it. I don't know.
There are only 3 options. No items, some items.
Some items.
All of this are from Malaysia?
Maybe take a guess.
Maybe yes, maybe no. I will say yes.
All items. Okay.
Were the people who brought your food from farm to plate treated fairly?
I cannot be sure.
I can say for the second one, I'm not sure.
It's only the one thing, right?
Now that's all we know, I guess. I think the second one. I changed my mind, yeah.
Third option. I cannot.
So for the next part, I will be speaking about the methodology. So our group actually divided ourselves into pairs, whereby Jayne and I, we had conducted interview with 25 respondents at certain locations. And the way we conducted the interviews were by asking questions from our iPads, and letting the respondents answer, and we recorded their answers into the iPad. Whereas Sahira and Seishini adapted to a different method, which was by printing questionnaires. They asked the questions to the respondents, and the respondents answered on the paper. So all this was recorded in videos, and we had shown the videos earlier. And this data of 250 respondents were transferred into Google Forms to make it more convenient for us to analyze the data. So I will explain a bit more on the demographic information, whereby there were two age groups that had the most respondents, which was age group 13 to 20 and 21 to 28, where they had 23 respondents each. So we believe that this was mainly because our respondents were majority students, which was 40 respondents are all students. So that is why the age group was between 16 to 28. And majority of our respondents were females, which is 36 respondents, which comprises 72% of our total population, which is 50 respondents in this case. And we believe it's because of the topic of our campaign, which is more regarding food, nutrition, diet, which attracts more female respondents. And lastly, we had several races that have participated in our interviews, which includes Malay, Chinese, Indian, Bumiputra, Punjabi, and other races as well. Of course, Malay respondents were majority, but we believe that we also got to gather information from various type of races. So that's about it for the demographic information.
For the data analysis of question 1, which asks the respondents of how many items on your plate contains processed sugar, is based on the bar chart above. It can be observed here that there are a total of 56% of respondent meals contain more than 2 teaspoons or more than 4 grams of processed sugar. 28% of respondents' meal contain 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of processed sugar, and 60% of respondent meals doesn't have any processed sugar. For the data analysis of question number 2, which asks the respondents about how many items of plastic packaging were the ingredients of your meals wrapped in, is in the chart above. It indicates that nearly all of them, which consists of 44% of respondents, have at least one plastic packaging covering their meals, while 38% of respondents have 2 or more plastic packaging of their meal covered in. In the meantime, only 18% of the respondents, which are about 9 people out of 50, did not have a plastic packaging ultimately, made up the least significant percentage in the response for question number 2.
Firstly, about question number 3, which is on how much food is thrown away from your plate. We can see that the reported number of people who finish their food is 68% out of 100%. As for the people who throws away their remaining food, is 26% and 6% respectively. This basically shows that most of the population is very much aware of their plate and their meal that they're taking. However, the remaining 26% and 6% who are not very aware of the situation and is very careless about the meal on their plate that is thrown away, which they should be more aware of the situation, in my opinion, because as we all know, every single rise in food costs a lot of money, and farmers' energy who are working very hard in the farm to feed the people the food every day. For the next question is that how many items on your plate comes from your own country. This is question number 4. In this question, the data analysis showed that 56% of the respondents answered that the items were all sourced locally, 38% responded that some items were locally sourced, and the remaining 6% responded that none of the items were locally sourced. This shows that most of the people here prefer to have locally sourced food compared to imported food, which is basically a good sign because they give more importance to local food. Lastly, for the 5th and the final question from me, were the people who brought my food from the farm to the plate basically treated fairly. For this question, we can see that most of the answers I cannot be sure, with 46%, which is the highest, and then yes, but I'm only sure about one stage of the food journey with 44%, and lastly yes, I'm sure, with only 10% of the population. This is basically can be assumed the respondents had an opinion on the farmer state in our nation, Malaysia, as most of the respondents ate locally produced food. This is a good thing for sure, as people are aware of the food and not wasting them by thinking about the farmers with the concept of farm to table, which is where the food on the table came directly from a specific farm without going through a store, market, or distributor along the way.
Every plate we create is a chance to shape a better world. It is an opportunity to bridge gaps, to foster understanding, and to make choices that resonate far beyond our tables. From learning where our food comes from, to reducing waste and embracing mindful consumption, we have embarked on a journey that not only empowers us but also leaves a positive mark on our planet. Thank you for joining us in this real-time campaign, What's on My Plate? Stop and think about global goals.